Now let me take you to the study strategy. So what is the study strategy to be adopted after the exam? Um, Here, before I begin, look, there are other Prince2 trainers might advise alternately. So my suggestion on the study practice that I'm going to talk about here, it relies on my extensive experience delivering Prince2 training since 2010 and delegates from primarily from UK, India, Africa, Middle East, more than 2,000 people out of train. So what I've seen works best. So here's my study strategy. After training, so first thing, during the training, one must sincerely attend all parts of the training. Okay. So attend the training, all parts. And then what best works is stretch yourself a bit during the training itself. So when I say that, what I mean is some light revision is much, emphasized here. So a couple of hours, 2 hours could be spent post trainings every day to revise the concepts that were covered in the class. So I must tell you, I'll go back to our training approach. So in the training, we cover the concepts such that everybody is able to catch up. So we don't rush through the concepts, not at all. We go slow, allowing delegates to absorb, reflect, question, to build that firm understanding. So during the training, the candidate would understand the concepts pretty well. So now next, with a immediate revision later during the day, the concepts are retained. So during the training, you understand the concepts, right? So in order to retain, the second step is particularly important. And then we do mock exams. There are mock exams we're going to take up during the training. Okay, during the training, we're going to be taking up one mock exam of Foundation and Practitioner, and we would discuss them in great details. And that's where we would share the tips and tricks, how to interpret Prince2 questions, how to use the manual, right? So these is the art of, interpreting questions is what is, explained here, so that you learn that. In fact, the approach is so planned that with these 3 steps, technically you are well equipped to write the exam the very next day, just after the training. Like we conduct a 5-day training, wherein it's Foundation and Practitioner both covered. So one can actually take the exam on the very next day. However, what we recommend is do not go for that. You could add a 4th step wherein you do some mock exams. So we give you 5 sets of mock exams, each of Foundation and Practitioner we got. So we would strongly recommend taking up 2 or 3, mock exams is a good idea. Okay. So why this is necessary, so as to check your readiness through these mock exams, to build patience, resilience, you really need that. So, without being exposed to the pressure of the exam, you might struggle in the exam. So that's why it's a very good idea to take 2 or 3 more mock exams. And then the exam can be taken 2 to 3 days after the training. So this is what, in my experience, has worked best, right? So in fact, I would just like to highlight, historically, if you go back to pre-COVID-19 period, we used to conduct these 5-day trainings, face-to-face trainings or whatever, and candidates used to take the exam right on the final day of the training. So that always worked best. So Prince2 is such. The good thing about Prince2 exam is everything is right from the Prince2 manual. There's nothing from outside. And the exam format is such, it doesn't require you to go back and memorize stuff. So it is all possible if you're understanding, you develop a good understanding of the framework. Okay, so that's how it used to work. But later, after COVID-19 times, they stopped these paper-based exams online, and we leave it to the candidate to take the exam whenever they want. And that's when, some people would ask you, go study for 2 months, 3 months, or a month. I really do not see a point. Trust me, there is no need to study so much Okay, so reading the full manual is unnecessary for passing the exam, where the Prince 2 manual is a very nice guidance. I really recommend that you do read it later at leisure. Keep it on your table if you're practicing Prince 2. That's what practitioners do. That you do. But for passing the exam, you don't have to read that. You just have to rely on the slide deck that we use in the training. That's the official training material that's available from the certifying body. People are just relying on that. And from the manual, a few pages, appendix, we talk about that. That should be enough to pass the exam. So that's on the exam strategy that I would recommend. Using the manual strategically, look, that's so very important. A lot of people do not take it seriously. Okay, so please take a note. You don't have to read the manual cover by cover to cover, not at all. All right, so you just have to focus on, you should know what's contained where, right? So if I'm not, it would not be an exaggeration if I say you can add up to 10 marks if you're using the manual effectively versus not using it. Yes, I mean that, 10 marks, right? It's just that you should be rightly guided how to use the manual, you know. That's the reason during the training, we have a slide deck, but we do refer to the manual. We take you to certain tables, certain appendix, certain important pages, so that you learn how to use the manual. And I really made a bold statement, that is, you can add 10 marks. Let me prove this. Okay, I'll show you how can you really add up certain marks. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at a couple of questions. I know you don't know the scenario, the background. It's okay, not required, but you can appreciate what I mean. Take a look at question 63. This is from the mock exam, Prince 2 mock exam. And that's the official manual, right? Okay. Yeah. Just a moment. Yeah. Okay, let's read this. The project is in managing product delivery process in stage 3, and there has been a delay in delivering the TV campaign. The team manager needs some extra funding to employ an additional camera operator to complete the work on time. The team manager calls the project manager to discuss. Fair. And what's the question? Which role should be consulted about how best to deal with this situation? So the team manager has taken it up with the project manager, but who else can it consult is the question. And let's say I really don't know the answer. I'll show you how can you actually get the answer if you are you're aware of what's there in the manual, okay, where what is contained. Just let me show you. Okay, in the real exam also you have this option of applying this. No, I just scroll down. Maybe you can search and get to the respective page. So the question is on managing product delivery, which happens to be one of the chapters in the manual. So I should be knowing that managing product delivery is chapter 17, so that I'm able to get there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, take a look. So I went to managing product delivery. So if you look at the question, the team manager was executing a particular work package where it faces this issue. Now, who to consult? We look at this RACI chart. This is the RACI chart for this managing product delivery. Now, what I find is, okay, so while executing the work package, see, team manager can consult these two roles. One is project assurance, the other is project support. Both these roles can be consulted. I won't get into the logic of it now. That's enough. See, how will I answer? Support is not there as one of the options. I go and answer assurance. It's so very easy. It's really difficult for you to know everything, but you should know how to use the manual. You should have known that managing product delivery is chapter 17, all right? And then you should also know there's a RACI chart somewhere, all right? I'll show you one or two more. Let's see. Another one, 62. The project is in managing product delivery process towards the end of stage 2. The option analysis team manager has checked that the options analysis have been approved by the director of campaigns as specified in the product description. They have called the project manager to tell them the option analysis work is finished and there were two main options from which the project board will need to choose at the end of the stage. A copy of the final report has also been sent to the project manager. All right. So the idea is here, the team manager is notifying project manager of completion of a particular work package. Now, what is the question? Which role should the team manager also notify? It has notified the PM. Who does he need to notify? Look, again in the same table, I'll show you. Notify work package completion. Let's see who all is to be informed. Notify is informed, right? You see the RACI chart here. Project support is to be informed. And I get the answer. All right, I go answer it as project support, right? So I just wanted to show you how using the manual can fetch you marks. Many people don't do that, right? But I must also tell you something. You really don't have the time to do this for all the questions. Referring to the manual would take some time, all right? But then say there are 70 questions. On 15 of them, I'm struggling. Yeah, I can use this approach to secure those 15 marks, right? Maybe one last I'll show you. Let's look at this as well. No, okay. Okay, there's less time. I hope you got a feel of what I meant, how could we use the manual, right? Yeah. So that's very important. Hence, I said you can simply add up 10 marks, just by using the manual correctly, right?